determine the perimeter of a composite figure, including real-world problems. Signal words for perimeter, which means the distance around, are outside, around, fence, border, length, trim, or rim. So let's go on to the next page. And this is an example of finding the perimeter. It says finding the missing horizontal side by subtracting the other two horizontal sides. So we're going to find this missing piece right there by taking the 16 minus the 6. Notice all three of those sides are horizontal. So that means this missing side here is 10. Then we're going to find the missing vertical side, this green side, by adding, excuse me, the other two vertical sides. So 5 plus 6 is 11. Then to find the perimeter, you would add them all up. It's important that you kind of go in order. I always go clockwise, so that way I don't miss anything. And then I make sure I check them off. There's a 5. There's a 10. There's a 6. There's another 6. There's an 11. And there's a 16, which means that our total perimeter, the length around this, is 54 inches. Do not try to count the invisible sides here or here. When you're doing perimeter, you want to go only around the very outside. So, if you can see, the composite figure below can be subdivided into 3 rectangles as shown. Find the missing side length as indicated by the red line segment. Then calculate the perimeter of the figure. Well, if we're looking for this line from here to here, we have to look at everything else that also is horizontal. This piece is horizontal, this piece is horizontal, and this piece is horizontal. And if you look at those 3 pieces, you can tell if you add them up, the 8, the 9, and the 3, that means the red side is 20. Now we have to go ahead and add all the sides, and we need to be very careful to make sure that we count them all. Let's start with this 8. So I'm going to put that in my calculator. 8 plus, then we have another 8 right here. So let's put in that 8. 8 plus, we have a 9 here. So 9 plus, oops, I put that in the wrong place. I'm so sorry. 9 plus, and then we have, gotta move my mistake away, the 8 right here. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to get my stylus back. Okay. All right. So this is an 8 here that we haven't put in yet. So let's put it in. Plus, and this tiny piece at the top is a 3. We got to get them all. So that's plus 3. And then we have this long side here, which is 19. So 19. And then we found the 20. We got to add it. 20. And then we have to add this other 19. It's really important to mark them off as you go because you don't want to forget anything. And then I would count it again just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. So that means our perimeter is 94 meters. And remember, when you're finding perimeter, you only want the very outsides. You don't want anything else that's on the inside. You just want the very outside of the figure. Okay, let's see what we have next. It says the composite figure below is made of a semicircle right here and an equilateral triangle, which means every side is exactly the same. These congruency marks here show you if this is 12, everywhere there's a congruency mark is also 12. But it says find the distance around the figure and round your answer to the nearest whole inch. Well, let's actually look at this. We need this here, and we need this side, and we need this side. This here is inside the figure, so it is not going to count as part of the perimeter. So I'm going to start with these two sides of the triangle because I already know how long they are. 12 plus 12 plus. Now, I need the outside of this circle. When we're finding the distance around a circle, it's called circumference, and the formula on your formula sheet will start with a C. But the interesting thing is this is not a whole circle. It is half a circle. So I start by putting a half there. Then I look up my formula for circumference, which is 2 pi r, and I put it in my calculator. Now, what's the only thing that my calculator doesn't know? Radius. How are we going to find that? Well, we know that from here to here is our diameter. And we know because of this congruency mark that our diameter is 12. So let's take 12 and divide it by 2 to get a radius of 6. That means that this is 43 inches around this figure. So my answer is A. Make sure when you're dealing with semicircles, you put a 1/2 in front of the formula.